Two of the smartest men in comics, one from Marvel, one from DC. Reed Richards, the genius of the Fantastic Four, a man whose mind has saved the multiverse more times than anyone can count. And Michael Holt, Mr. Terrific, the so-called third smartest man in the planet, armed of his unbreakable will and an army of T-Spheres at his command. It's the battle of brains, tech, and raw innovation. But who comes out on top when science meets science? Let's find out. Reed Richards, better known as Mr. Fantastic, is the brilliant leader of the Fantastic Four and the head of the Future Foundation. One of the greatest scientific minds in the Marvel Universe, Reed designed an experimental spacecraft to explore the stars. But when government funding was about to be cut, he invited his closest companions, Susan Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm, to join him on a test flight. The launch worked, at first, but out in the depths of space, the ship's shielding failed to block sudden blasts of cosmic radiation from a solar flare as they attempted to enter hyperspace. That wave of energy rewrote their very DNA, mutating Reed's body into something extraordinary, giving him the ability to stretch, contort, and reshape himself into almost anything he could imagine, while his friends gained powers of their own. Deciding to use these new abilities for the good of humanity, Reed founded the Fantastic Four, one of the very first superhero teams in the world. Mr. Fantastic's power is wild. He can transform his entire body into a hyper-elastic, fully malleable state. That means stretching his arms across city blocks, twisting into impossible shapes, or morphing into forms no human body should even be capable of. At first glance, it might not seem like the flashiest superpower out there, but in Reed's hands, it's unbelievably versatile and surprisingly powerful. Take his physical strength, for example. By using his elasticity to generate extra force, Reed can hit way harder than you'd expect. We're talking enough raw power to stagger Namor, Spider-Man, The Thing, Hercules, you name it. He's even managed to hurt Onslaught and Godzilla with colossal, supersized punches. And in one jaw-dropping moment, Reed grew his body to an enormous size and single-handedly contained Thor, Hulk, Hercules, Iron Man, basically a lineup of Earth's most powerful heroes, and they couldn't break free. Yeah, that's not just stretchy guy strong, that's heavy hitter territory. And it's not just offense. Reed is a lot tougher than most people realize. The Thing has gone full force against him, whether mind controlled or just angry, and he couldn't do any real damage. Reed's body simply cannot be pierced. Bullets bounce off him, Wolverine's claws can't cut him, and he shrugged off insane energy blasts, from the force of a star to attacks from Galactus himself, even a cosmic-powered Superman. Mr. Fantastic isn't just flexible, he's ridiculously hard to take down. But Reed's biggest asset is his sheer versatility. His stretching isn't limited to reaching far distances, though he's easily spread himself across entire cityscapes and wrapped around massive structures. He uses that reach to grapple and restrain opponents, and he's tangled up some real heavyweights. The Thing, Doctor Doom, Thor, Hulk, all trapped in his coils, if only for a moment. But the creativity doesn't stop there. Reed's shape-shifting takes his abilities to the next level. He's turned his hands into weapons, bulked up into muscle-bound forms, created multiple arms with independent control, morphed into shields and barriers, transformed into a boat or even a kite, and hollowed out parts of his body to let attacks pass straight through him. And he's only pushing these abilities further than ever before. Here's the kicker. Reed has absolute mental control over every molecule of his body. That means his transformations aren't just instinctive, they're precise, calculated, and insanely effective. So yeah, Mr. Fantastic isn't just the smartest man alive, he's a battle-tested leader, a powerhouse in disguise, one of Marvel's most criminally underrated heroes. Michael Holt was a brilliant scientist, officially ranked as the third smartest man in the world, while also serving as the CEO of Holt Industries. But his life changed forever on his wife's birthday, when she was killed in a tragic accident. Devastated and searching for meaning, Holt was visited by the Spectre, who inspired him to take up the mantle of a hero. From that moment, Michael Holt became Mr. Terrific. Armed with his genius intellect and his custom-built T-Spheres, he rose to become a key member of both the Justice Society and the Justice League. Mr. Terrific is widely regarded as one of the greatest minds in the DC universe. He has what's called a natural aptitude for natural aptitudes, basically meaning he can master anything he sets his mind to, and with his perfect memory, he never forgets a single detail. He's usually placed just behind Lex Luthor and Batman in raw intelligence, though Batman himself has admitted that Holt may actually be just as smart, if not smarter. His feats of intellect back this up. He's outthought a living computer designed specifically to surpass him, engineered a sonic black hole on the fly, built a miniature sun for his own garden, and even translated an advanced alien language in a single day, something that had taken others centuries to crack even a few words, and even Batman himself could only translate it halfway. He's mastered interdimensional travel, created a probability vortex to map possible outcomes, and of course, his crowning achievement was designing the T-Spheres, technology so advanced they're basically limitless in potential. Mr. Terrific has thousands of T-Spheres, all stored in his custom-built sanctuary hidden in the 9th dimension, ready to be summoned instantly with just a thought. These spheres pack serious firepower, strong enough to injure Kryptonian-level beings with their explosions and electrical output. But combat is only a fraction of what they can do. The T-Spheres can generate powerful force fields, allow Holt to fly, teleport him and others across the universe, project holograms. Some are even capable of terrifyingly advanced functions, like creating perfect duplicates of people by implanting a sphere in their brain, instantly copying not only their personality, but their powers as well. It doesn't just stop there. Holt has also created the Boom Spheres, massive weaponized T-Spheres enhanced with boom tube tech that can constantly teleport material between them at extreme speeds, shredding through literally anything in their path. These were hailed as mankind's greatest weapon and said to be capable of cutting through even the new gods themselves. Then there's the T-Infinity, a specialized T-Sphere that generates endless probability branches, effectively creating new realities for each outcome. Holt can then select the branch that leads to the optimal solution, giving him the ultimate edge in any scenario. When you put it all together, it's no exaggeration to say that Mr. Terrific's technology is completely broken. His intellect and inventions, especially the T-Spheres, make him one of the most dangerous and resourceful heroes in DC Comics. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, these two guys are making waves right now as Fantastic Four and Superman were both just on the big screen. So it makes sense to throw these two hyper-intelligent guys and see which one is ultimately coming out on top. And honestly, for how powerful Fantastic and Terrific are, I also think both of these guys can be a little bit undersold. Take Mr. Fantastic. People love to box him in as the smart, stretchy guy, the Fantastic Four. But when Reed Richards is firing on all cylinders, he's quietly one of Marvel's most dangerous heroes. He's not just stretching his body, he's manipulating every molecule in it. That means he can ramp up his strength, harden his body until heavy hitters can't break through, and even bulk up to deck Godzilla in the jaw. He's restrained the Avengers, tanked insane attacks, and here's the wild part. He's figured out how to stretch into the fourth dimension and drag other people there, leaving them inside out in a place their brains can't even comprehend. Yeah, Reed Richards can get scary powerful. On the other hand, while it might just appear that Mr. Terrific is like on par with Batman and other street level heroes, his T-Spheres really throw things in his favor in most fights, to like a significant degree. Because Michael Holt on his own is just a peak human level athlete, a moderately good fighter, and yeah, a street level hero. But the T-Spheres, well, they're essentially unhackable, able to injure Kryptonian level beings, appear to have some level of auto-intelligence, so they can act faster than Mr. Terrific can, create force fields, instantly teleport, even do crazy stuff like cause Mr. Terrific to go cyber mode, create gravity wells, even overload someone's brain and take them out. Yeah, Reed is stretchy, and his stretchiness is honestly insane, but Mr. Terrific has instant access to some god-like tech. And it's really hard to argue that one is more intelligent than the other too. The straight answer is Mr. Fantastic is smarter than Mr. Terrific. And I still believe that that's mostly true, but then there's stuff like Mr. Terrific saying that when you lap the field for a while, it looks like you're behind everyone else. So to others, it looks like you're in third place, but in reality, you're just biding your time to lap the field again. With Holt always being referred to as the third smartest man in DC, seems like a pretty clear reference to that, and him saying that that might not be as true as it seems. And his intelligence feats do seem to back all that up too. So of course, it's still hard to say that he's smarter than Mr. Fantastic, because Mr. Fantastic is just stupid levels of smart. Like even compared to other hyper intellects in Marvel. Well, when Hank Pym became Scientist Supreme, even Eternity made it clear that Reed was still smarter. Or when Iron Man gave everyone on the planet his own intellect. Well, Reed was the one guy who got significantly dumber. Plus, with his stretching powers, well, Mr. Fantastic is actually able to get even smarter, growing his brain and even stretching to the point where he can think in higher dimensions. But when it comes to tech, well, Mr. Fantastic is honestly right up there with Mr. Terrific and his T-Spheres. Like Reed has built some crazy stuff, like a machine that teleports him into the afterlife. He's mastered dimensional teleportation and time travel. He's got a suit of armor that he dubbed the Galactus Buster. He's got a gun that can kill Celestials or bombs that can destroy planets, or even his own ultimate nullifier. So, if they both have insane tech and are both arguably the smartest person on the planet, well then I think it can actually come down to the fact that Mr. Fantastic has superpowers and Mr. Terrific doesn't. I know his T-Spheres can kind of replicate superpowers, but Mr. Fantastic has tech he can call on that can basically do all the same stuff and cancel each other out. I'm talking like actual superpowers. With his powers, Mr. Fantastic is essentially indestructible. He's hyper durable. He's taken blast from Galactus, from the Infinity Stones, punches from the Hulk. Most electric or nerve attacks don't do anything. And he can manipulate his body so well that most projectiles just get lost in his stretchiness. It's going to take a lot for the T-Spheres to physically put him down, all while Mr. Fantastic is actually strong enough to fight against the Thing or Namor and knock around beings like Onslaught and Godzilla. That's all on top of his insane tech and intelligence, and it's an advantage that Mr. Terrific doesn't have here. This is basically like if Plastic Man was actually the smartest man in the world. That's who Mr. Terrific is fighting against. And I think this is probably a closer fight than it appears, all because Mr. Terrific with the T-Spheres is more powerful than he appears. But I think it's going to go to Mr. Fantastic here at the end. Great fight, but Mr. Fantastic wins.